what the coaches are thinking down on the court. What is Coach Marcus Williams thinking? What are his keys to success? C and a losing streak of 10 games. They are also 0-10 on the road, only 2 of something at home. They need to turn it around here, and we are ready for tip, as it will be McKee Watson and Edvaldo Ferreira on the jump, and Ferreira wins it back. And we are underway here. Jake Deemer alongside Jared Sullenberger on Eagle Media Sports Network tonight for this. It's going to be a good one. This is Collier working on 2, gives to Smith, and Smith's 15-footer is no good. Rebounded there by Mason Mraz. This is Grumley, the seasoned veteran. Just reached the 1,000-point mark, giving to Brandon Williams. Inside, got a lot of green around him, so he's going to dish out to Williams. Williams' 3, bang! And Kyrie Williams gets Clarion on the board with a three-pointer, 3-0. Walters from the wing, no good. Rebound tipped along there by Patrick Smith. And now Mercyhurst will set up an offense along with Derek Ellis Jr., who throws it into the Clarion bench. Turnover number 1 for the Lakers. A look at Cam Grumley, just surpassing the 1,000-point mark for your Clarion Golden Eagles. A seasoned veteran to the fullest extent. And he turns it over here to Ellis. Ellis 2-on-1 gives to Walters, and Walters will lay it in with the right hand. Stretch pass to Watson went airborne, and it's going to be a turnover for Clarion. So now a turnover apiece on each side. Clarion playing the final game of their 3-game home streak. Mercyhurst enters today having won 2 of their last 3, but in PSAC road contests this season, the Lakers are 0-7 as Walters knocks down a corner 3. Here's Kyrie Williams giving back to Grumley, who will set something up. Picks on either side for Grumley. Skip pass to Mraz, foot on the line. That's going to be a long 2 that's missed. And rebound tipped along into Ferreira's hands. Walters stretch pass to Collier and back to Walters. Collier gives to Walters. Back to Collier, and Collier's 3 is too short. Rebounded there by Cam Grumley. Grumley. Drive, kick. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Clarion. Another turnover for the Golden Eagles. A 3 there by Walters, an impressive 3 as he was knocked down, but nonetheless, 8-3 ball game here. Clarion wants to not let them get out to a long lead. Grumley's jumper is too strong, and now taken up by Malcolm Walters. Ellis back to Walters. Walters a three. That one's off the mark. Rebounded there by Mason Mraz, the 6-time PSAC Freshman of the Week. Grumley lost it for a second, but regathered it. Tried to lay it up. Too strong. Still fighting for his own rebound. Mraz comes down with it. Loses it. And now there's a scrum. And the officials will call a jump ball. Possession arrow pointing towards Clarion, so Clarion will retain possession. A very frantic episode there, but Clarion was able to come away with it. This is Brandon Williams on the wing. 2 Williamses for this Clarion team. There's this Kyrie Williams now. Williams gives to Watson, and Watson wanted to slam, but he was fouled by Lorenzo Collier. As we take a look at head coach Marcus Williams. And we talked about Coach Williams today. It's tough for him. Obviously, for any coach that has only won 3 games, it's going to be tough. But him especially, he's been here for a while, and he's created a culture. As Watson misses his first, he's created that culture. So why, if you think, why would the Clarion administration stay with Coach Marcus Williams? Well, nonetheless, the Clarion administration will have to evaluate positions eventually, and that decision will come sooner than later. Grumley kick out to Williams, and Williams couldn't get a long 2 to go as he fights for the offensive rebound, but Derek Ellis comes up with it. Ellis to Walters. Walters, a wing 3, got it. Ellis is the leading scorer on this team with 6.2. Corner 3, got it, and the foul. Grumley ran into him. That's Collier, and he'll be heading to the line for a 4-point play. Allowing us to grace their live stream as Lorenzo Collier will head to the line for a 4-point play. Got fouled on a corner 3 moments ago before the timeout. And he misses the free throw, so no 4-point play for Collier, the leading scorer on the Laker team. Long 3, got it! Cam Grumley's heating up. That will cut the lead in half. Just early stages of this one. 7-14, Clarion trails it. Collier gives to Walters, and Walters to Ellis. Ellis driving on Grumley, pulls up, looks for an outlet. Collier drives, up and in. Around now, Mraz giving to Grumley. Grumley thought about it, but just watched a new dribble and a new play. Israel Atkins has checked in for Clarion. Another 3 by Grumley goes wayside and rebounded there by Dante Williams. Ellis's baseline floater is no good, and the ball will find its way out of bounds. Clarion will take possession. And that will go down as another turnover for Mercyhurst, their second of the game. Clarion has 3. So Mraz will go to the free throw line, a 77% free throw shooter, and he makes his first. Checking in for Mercyhurst will be Edvaldo Ferreira, back in the game for the second time, and he will step in for Patrick Smith. Mraz, very short on the second free throw, and he'll come out of there 1 of 2. Full court press broken out by Coach Williams for Clarion, and we're going to get a travel called here by Collier. So a travel by Collier sets up a Clarion offense, now run by R.J. Legand, recently check in. Grumley on the wing. He's going to drive, and he was fouled. Will they call it on the floor? No, it will be a shooting foul. So Grumley, last year's free throw champion, will head to the line. Nothing but net on that one as Cordell Holmes Lightbody steps in for Ellis. Cam Grumley told us in the post-game interview after last game that he remembers that 30-point blowout earlier this year in Erie and wants to stick it to him as the competitor he is. We're going to get a foul called on the floor here. They called it on Israel Atkins, the freshman, out of Tarpon Springs, Florida. And that is the what capital of the world? The sponge capital of the world, Israel Atkins' hometown. As this is a rebound that goes way up in the air, comes down into Brandon Williams' hand, back to Grumley, back to Williams, and we are going to get a foul called on Mercyhurst. It's going to be a blocking foul. It will be Holness Lightbody's first of the game and fourth team foul, Legand to inbound underneath his own basket. Finds Grumley. Grumley with a little step across and couldn't get it to go. It bounced off the top of the backboard. But the handles out of Cam Grumley, he really shows us something every game. And what I admire so much about him is throughout this record, throughout all these losses, he still comes out every game and wants to beat every team and every player that steps on the floor. Category for both of these teams, Clarion gives up the most points in the PSAC, and then on the other side, Mercyhurst gives up the least. Fast break right here for Roland, and he's going to put it down. Roland, recently checked in, is on the board for 2 points. Malcolm Walters leads the scoring for Mercyhurst with 11 so far. Wing three for Williams, no good. A poor free three-point shooting on the season for Williams. And he's got it right here off of a steal from Grumley. Lays it up. No foul, no block. Just a whole lot of glass and ball hitting each other. Corner three for Collier. Thought about it, but it's just going to pull it out and give to Walters, who gives to Rowland. And now for Williams. And Williams back around for Walters. Collier, three. Yes! That's Collier's 8th point of the night. Grumley giving to Kyrie. Kyrie, no good, off to the left. This is Ryan Rowland, the 5'10 sophomore out of Syracuse. And now the leading scorer for the Lakers, Collier, turns it over almost, finds the hands of a Laker, and back into those same hands for Rayra. Skip pass for Rowland, and Rowland too strong on the baseline J. Corner three, Legan, got it! R.J. Legan, the Clarion native. A three by Walters is too short. And a skip pass for Watson. He wanted to throw it down, but instead will just lay it in. Either way, 2 points for Clarion. Coach Al Modrzejewski really firing up his troops. And this is going to be Williams laying it in. And on the other side, Williams to Williams. A lot of Williamses in this game. This is Kyrie Williams. 15-foot jumper goes down. It's a 6-point ball game. Corner three, airballed by Collier. Rebound, Kyrie Williams gives to Grumley. And the crowd really wanted that three. No good on Grumley's 4th three attempt. The crowd coming alive here in Tippin. And a steal, a deflection by Grumley. That one goes out of bounds, and a whole new platoon for Mercyhurst, led by head coach Gary Manchel. Walters will inbound from the side, gets it to Smith. Smith, third attempt, kicks out, and we're going to get a travel turnover. Lakers, and this crowd is really coming alive. When was the last time you saw this crowd like this? And we see many times Clarion shows a lot of fight, and they're getting back into games, but they never really keep that fight and stay in those games. What do they have to do to stay in the fight? Grumley turns it over. This is Walters stepping through. Dishes out to the corner and now back up to the point. Wing three for Knowles. Thought about it and gets it to Walters, and Walters knocks down the corner three. Making the extra pass right there was Mercyhurst. Very good ball movement led to a corner three. He got out to a very strong first half, did Walters, in the first meeting between Clarion and Mercyhurst. And ultimately, when we talked to the coaches, they thought the first half was really the difference maker in that game. It really just put a margin in between the two teams, and Clarion could never climb the mountain to take the win. The last time Clarion beat Mercyhurst was at home on February 6, 2016, when Clarion took that one 67-62. They're going to look to do the same thing on home court right here on EMSN, as we're going to get a foul called. They're going to call it on Daewon Dent. It's his first, as he just checked in. 16 fouls for Mercyhurst, only 2 for Clarion. This is Grumley giving to Watson. Watson to Mraz. Mraz drives, puts it in. Mason Mraz cuts it down to a 9-point lead. Mraz, as we've said before, the 6-time PSAC Freshman of the Week. And he's just been on a tear, leading the team, not leading the team, second on the team in scoring and rebounding. Walters with a fancy move, but an air ball as someone stepped out of bounds. And it's going to be a Clarion ball. 9-point game. Clarion wants to keep that margin to a minimal, because this is a team that is always fighting from behind and never really gets out to a big lead. Here's Clarion native Legand, almost gave it to Grumley, not looking, but Grumley was able to get that. And he's going to set up an offense. Spin move. Up and in. Cam Grumley, magnificent. Grumley with 7 points on the night already. Just over 5 minutes remaining as a pass goes wild, but last touch by Clarion. It's going to stay green ball. Ferreira and Ferreira and Williams checking in. Quick pass into Ferreira was snuffed out there by R.J. Legand. So we'll do it again. Just 8 on the shot clock. Walters, a 3. Got it. Malcolm Walters has 16 points as Kyrie Williams turns it over. And now the Lakers looking for a quick turnaround. Walters on the wing. Inside. Ferreira. Pinned by Williams. Good defensive play there by Williams, and that's something Clarion's been lacking. Good, solid defensive play. Walters to inbound underneath his own basket. Gets it to Williams. And around now for Ellis and back to Walters. Ellis working on Grumley. And they did not get a shot off. Time expires. That will go down as Mercyhurst's 5th turnover. And Clarion, 15 of their 21 points coming off the turnover. Another turnover by Clarion leads to an Ellis bucket. A 12-point lead. Just when you think Clarion is playing well and they're going to turn it around, Mercyhurst comes back with something and just doesn't let that lead get to be too much. This is Kyrie Williams. And that one will rattle around and in. Walters. Too short. Now Grumley trying to respond. Gives to Kyrie Williams and back to Grumley. Clarion working with 2 point guards, Grumley and Legan. Williams, a 3 way off the mark. And Ellis comes down with it. And he's not going to stop. Tried to lay it up. And just didn't touch the backboard on that one. And we are going to take a timeout. But otherwise, Zay Kraft has an injured heel. He injured the heel last Saturday in the game. And he will be out for likely the remainder of the season. And Chris Pipkin, it was confirmed today that he will be out for the rest of the season. So Clarion only expected to get back one of the injured players, and that's Keontae Sargent, who should be coming back next week. Collier, a wing 3, too short. Rebound there by Williams, almost stepped out of bounds. Kyrie gives to Cam. And Cam was rejected there at the top by Patrick Smith. Almost a turnover by Grumley. Kyrie Williams was able to get 2 on the shot clock. Grumley gets it off, hits the rim. Rebound Atkins, and he puts it back. We've seen flashes of Israel Atkins, but he hasn't been everything he's cracked up to be. Why do you think that is? Grumley knocks it down and has this crowd going nuts. He's fired up. Everyone's fired up here in Clarion. 1:30 to play. It's now a 5-point. That had been taken in this game. 25 total three-pointers have been attempted by both teams. Clarion's made 4 and Mercyhurst has made 7. So this team, both teams, matter of fact, are going to either live or die by the 3. And that's what we're watching unfold. Clarion with the trap. Israel Atkins let him go. Almost had a turnover there, and he knows it. Collier a 3. Too short. Smith with the rebound. A fresh 30 for Mercyhurst, and they won't use that full 30, but they get another fresh 30 right here. Collier, a 4th chance. And a 5th chance coming up for Mercyhurst. Insane. The offensive rebounding skill by this team is bar none. So Ellis took it into the paint and was fouled. So he's going to go to the line. Ellis, a 45% free throw shooter, is going to get a chance at a 5-point ball game. That one rattles out, so it stays a 5-point ball game. Ellis's second coming up, and he knocks that one down to make it a 6-point ball game. Grumley is going to waste the time down. He gives to Williams. Williams, a corner shot, knocks it down. Shot clock turned off for Ellis and company. Three seconds. Collier puts up a shot. No good. Smith a follow-up. And nothing going. And no foul called at the end. So at the end of the first half, it's just a 4-point ball game. Clarion very much in this game. We'll be right back after halftime for more. Has 10 on 3 of 10 shooting, 2 of 5 from behind the line. Like we said, 4-point game. It's going to be a tight one to the finish. And Mercyhurst will end up with the ball to start the half. And we are underway in the final half of this PSAC game. Inside, this is Smith, and Smith will put it down on 2 defenders, and it's now a 6-point game. Both teams shooting above 30% in both field goals and three-point shooting. Mraz from 3, got it to go! Mason Mraz pull up 3. A little space, a little nylon. Zone defense for Clarion once again. Here's Ellis for Collier, back to Ellis, and Ellis is going to take a 3 and hit with 2 seconds on the shot clock. A very, very effective possession there for Mercyhurst. That's Ellis's first 3 of the game, second field goal, as McKee Watson turns this one over. The 8th turnover for Clarion on the ball game. Ellis to Collier. Collier drives baseline and almost turns it over. And now Mercyhurst 10 on the shot clock. Here's Ellis. Tipped by Grumley and goes out of bounds. It will be Clarion ball. Clarion escaped a bullet there. Almost a very bad possession, giving up, again, 2 or 3 chances. Out of all the chances, Williams knocks down a 10-foot jumper. Out of all the second chances and third chances and multiple offensive rebounds that Mercyhurst has gotten, only 1 second chance point for the Lakers. Walters, corner 3, no good. Gets his own rebound inside, and a good pass there by Walters to Ferreira. Grumley with a miss. And just as we talk about Mercyhurst not getting any second chance points, they get two second chance points on that possession. But they turn it over here. Brandon Williams comes up with it. Now he's running with numbers. Williams, spin move, lays it up and in. The scoop and drive by Brandon Williams. Williams has been struggling this season, just averaging 8.1 a game and shooting 4 of 25 from three-point land. It has not been the season he has wanted it to be in his return to Clarion. Walters, hits! Malcolm Walters now with 18 points. And Cam Grumley answers right back. And Clarion still keeping it close, just 4 points now with over 15 minutes to play in the second half. And Smith is going to find himself taking a trip to the free throw line when we come back. 13 last season. Do you think it gets to 13 this season? Smith makes one of two, and it's 44-39. Here's Legand, the Clarion native out of Clarion Limestone. Legand working on wholeness light body. Gives to the six-time PSAC Freshman of the Week, Mason Mraz. And going to get a whistle here. It will be a 3-second violation going against the Golden Eagles. Coach Marcus Williams not happy with that call. Smith gives to Ferreira, rejected by Mraz. Now Grumley running. Gives to Atkins. Another pass. Williams, corner pocket. No good. Rebound. Atkins puts it back. Clarion showing some fight with second chance points there. And they are not going to go away quietly. It's a one-possession game. Ellis knocks down a three, so it's raining threes here in Tippin. 47-41 now. Ellis, a 45% three-point shooter. Inside Williams, couldn't finish. Cam Grumley not happy with that one. On the run back as Collier missed one, but Ferreira is going to put one down and extend this lead for Mercyhurst to 8. And if this game does not turn out in Clarion's favor, we may be able to look back at that Kyrie Williams bucket as the one that stopped the momentum for Clarion. Here's Grumley, working on Collier, drives, tries to get him to Mraz, but it was deflected by Ferreira. And 3 new Lakers coming out onto the court. Malcolm Walters along with Ryan Rowland and Dante Williams. Dante Williams, a jersey number change tonight, originally wearing number 11. He's wearing number 55 tonight. Grumley from three, no good. Rebound Legan, falls out of bounds and hits it off of Patrick Smith, and it will stay Clarion ball. Creative hustle there by Legan. This is Kyrie Williams giving to Legan. It's Legan, Grumley, Mraz, Kyrie Williams, along with Israel Atkins at the 5. Stop up. Got it. R.J. Legan. Oohs and ahs. This crowd starting to come back alive. Inside. And Williams throws it away off of a Clarion defender. It's going to stay Laker basketball. And Roland will inbound from underneath his own basket. Gets it to Collier. To Walters. And back now for Roland. Walters a three. Way off the mark. Finds its way out to Collier. Collier a chance. And he's going to be fouled. And they will call the foul on Israel Atkins, the freshman out of Tarpon Springs. So it will send Collier to the line. Collier, as we said before, the leading scorer on the Mercyhurst Lakers team, 70% free throw shooter, misses his first. Abysmal free throw shooting for Mercyhurst tonight, 3 of 7. As Grumley loses the handle on that one, and a fast man break for Mercyhurst, and they messed it up. Collier had a pass go wide. Williams on the other end, up and in. Five-point ball game now. Under 12. Williams. Straight up was Watson, and Williams gets the bucket to go. And McKee Watson did not get the foul called on that one. There was contact, but as the rule states, if a player jumps up and lands in the same spot, it's a no call as Mraz knocks down a short little jump shot to answer right back. Williams rejected by Watson. That's Clarion's 5th block of the game. So now that will that at home against Gannon on January the 13th, and just such an incredible feat for Cam being here all 4 years. He's a Clarion Golden Eagle through and through. A short jump shot there by Ferreira is way short. Mraz couldn't get the 3 to go. Other way is Ellis. And Ellis is going to get fouled on the floor by R.J. Legan. Coach Marcus Williams, in his 4th year as head coach, he took over the reins at the start of the 2014-2015 season. Struggling here the last 2 seasons. Has run into some pretty bad losing streaks in each of the past 2 seasons, has Coach Marcus Williams. On the wing is Collier, gives to Ellis. Ellis a floater. No good. Rebound. Finds its way out of bounds, and they say last touched by a player in the white jerseys. Ellis, quick shot there, and Daewon Dent is on the board for the first time tonight. Williams on the wing, gives to Legand. Legand drives baseline, finds Grumley. Grumley, corner pocket, got it! And every time, without failure, every time we talk about Cam Grumley as another three by Collier is answered back. But as I was saying, every time we start talking about Cam Grumley, steals the ball, takes it down. And this man, I'm telling you, he is listed as 5'11", but this man steals the ball, takes it down. Everyone in the building expecting him to get fouled for late game fouling. No, Cam Grumley, the guy he is, he's just going to take it right to the rack and flush it down. Such an incredible dunk by such an incredible character. Here he is right now, and he was fouled by Collier. And they're going to say Collier pushed off, but we both agree that is our favorite moment of Cam Grumley.
I don't know if you remember or not, but when we were down there, he had a layup blocked maybe 7 seconds before that, and you could tell he was upset with himself because he finished stronger. And what better way to finish stronger than going down the court after a steal and throwing the ball down, setting the gym on fire over Fayetteville State's 6'10" big man.
What a pass by Cam Grumley there, a one-handed, left-handed pass the length of the baseline to find R.J. Legand in the corner, and R.J. Legand knocks it down. Cam Grumley, just a special player, and we have had the treat of watching him all 4 years. As Cam Grumley and I are both seniors. I've been here since his freshman year. We both lived in the Wilkinson dorms, in which have recently been torn down. But nonetheless, Cam Grumley, a great player. Here's Collier. Scoop drive, no good. Rebound, Dent, and Dent puts it back. Whistles come in, and a foul is called. It's going to be on Mercyhurst. Daewon Dent is going to get tabbed with that foul. Dent, a community college transfer from Baltimore City. Here's Grumley. 10 on the shot clock. Grumley finds Legand again. He can't finish. That was about the same pass as earlier. Just the difference was the first one, Grumley was on one side of the baseline, passing to the other. Ellis on Legand. Pulls up. Didn't get a bounce, but is hauled in by Ferreira. Another offensive rebound for Mercyhurst. Ellis looking to set up an offense. Here's Ferreira. Spin move. Rejected at the top by Mraz. But a foul on the tail end. Kyrie Williams getting the call. He has gotten a lot of playing time. Started off the season as a starter and has transitioned into a bench player. But what have you seen from Atkins?
We've seen flashes that he's going to be a great big man, but he needs to get stronger. He's playing against a 240-pound Patrick Smith, and Israel Atkins only weighing in at 6'7", 190, so almost a whole nother person he has to corral down there.
as his corner three is no good, as Clarion tries to climb up this figurative mountain. Straight up, no foul. Legan gives to Grumley, almost puts it down, rejected by Ferreira. Tries to get it to Ellis, sloppy basketball. Here's Collier, and he'll put it up and in with the reverse layup. Now R.J. Legan will try to set up a Clarion offense. Also been here all of his years like Grumley, but Legan just a junior in his third year as a Clarion Golden Eagle. Here's Mraz for three, too short. And Ferreira with the rebound. Mercyhurst has lost 8 of their last 9 road games, and Clarion's road issues are one of another. They're 0 of 10 in away games this season as whistles come in, and it's going to be a foul on the freshman Israel Atkins as Dante Williams checks in for Mercyhurst. But we can sit here and talk about records and whatnot, but going back multiple seasons, Clarion has not won a road game since the 2015-2016 season. 1 year, 11 months, and 10 days.
710 days is a long time to not pick up a victory on the road.
Cam Grumley with a Euro step, and he's going to get called with a travel. He thought he might have been in the NBA for a second.
That's a James Harden move right there. Crash dribble is what they like to call it. I guess they weren't letting that one slide.
Time running away, under 6 minutes to go. And an 8-point ball game. Smith to Ellis. Ellis pulls up. Can't get any friends. And the ball will bounce off a Clarion foot, but not before a foul is called on McKee Watson. And McKee Watson, another player that a lot of people had high hopes for, hasn't really produced as much as everyone would have liked him to, but still, he's the biggest body on your team at 6'8", 215. You got to hang on to a player like that.
Absolutely. Positive thing about the man wants to break the rim off of the backboard every time he gets into the paint. You know, it's so fun to watch, but then at the same time, he has to know he's loading the ball in and it's going to be the same amount of points.
Patrick Smith gets the roll on the free throw. So now it's a 10-point game. Clarion's got to get back into this one if they have any shot of sneaking out a victory here on their home court. Here's Legan, crossover. And there's going to be another foul called here. This one called on number 4 on the other team. That's Derek Ellis.
Last break, Jake, there was only two teams. Clarion's 4, so last timeout, the referees got a little happy with the whistles.
Williams pulls up way off the mark, but is fouled by Smith. So Kyrie Williams is going to get a generous free throw line opportunity. Kyrie Williams, a 61% free throw shooter on the season, is going to get a chance to cut the lead down to 8. Williams makes his first. Kyrie Williams, 6'4", 175-pound freshman out of Norristown, Pennsylvania. The famous Archbishop Carroll. And he's too strong on the second one. Full court press has been broken out by Coach Marcus Williams. Ellis just runs away from it. Tries to drive, rejected by Watson. And it comes back out to Collier. But Ellis comes back around for the ball. He wants another opportunity. Gives to Collier a 3. Too strong. Grumley with an athletic rebound and gets it to Williams. Now Williams running. Williams on Ellis. Drives and is fouled by one or two players. And they are going to call the foul on Ellis. So that will be Ellis's fourth foul. And head coach Gary Manshell will head to his bench to get his player in foul trouble out of the game. And that's exactly what he'll do. Cordell Holness Lightbody is going to check in for Ellis. Williams knocks down his second, and more full court pressure. And Mraz had him in the coffin corner, but allows him to get out of it. And now it'll be Collier and back to Walters to set up an offense and try to run some clock off as they're up by 7. Holness Lightbody driving baseline, loses it, and it falls into Watson's hand. Kyrie Williams running, pulls up, can't get it to go. Rebound by Mercyhurst. Couple empty possessions there for Clarion. And for Mercyhurst for that fact. Here's Walters giving to Holness Lightbody and over to Collier. Back now for Holness Lightbody, trying to drive baseline. Gets it to Walters, open three, knocks it down with 5 on the shot clock. A very effective possession there by Mercyhurst. And it'll be a strong season for both teams, but you're a part of that Clarion baseball locker room. What's the message in the locker room for this season?
We wanted to change the culture. Coach Anthony Williams got here last year and looked to change the culture, and that's been our whole philosophy, change the culture. And had each player honestly, I haven't seen a closer team, and I've been around a lot of different teams through high school, couple different colleges, and tell you what,
Steal by Mraz after a Grumley 3, and now Mraz is going to get an opportunity to make it a 5-point turnaround right out of the timeout. Grumley with his 4th 3 of the day, he's shooting 50% behind the arc. And now Mraz at the line misses the first. You cannot miss free throws in the last 5 minutes of a game, especially a game this close. Mraz is a 77% free throw shooter, makes his second. So now it's a 2-possession ball game, 6 points. Full court pressure, got him in the coffin corner. And he gets out of it somehow. Ellis gets out of the coffin corner, gets it to Walters, and Walters is fouled. Unbelievable. This could be a 4-point turnaround. You have them in the coffin corner. You have 2 defenders, one on their way. How do you let that defender get out?
you can't get beat by the person you have trapped in the corner. Ellis didn't even have to make a pass to get up the court. He didn't have to make a pass until he got to his free throw line, and that was whenever it was a 3-on-1. And can't be happy if you're Coach Marcus Williams.
Nonetheless, Walters headed to the line, already made his first and second on the way, and he makes both. 8-point game now as Grumley with the ball giving to Williams. Oh, almost an offensive foul there by Williams. Working on Walters now. And gives out to Mraz, who gives to the veteran Grumley. Grumley. Sizing up Collier. Gives to Atkins around for Legin. 4 on the shot clock. Needs to get a shot off. Atkins gets one off. Hits the rim. No bucket. And now the life has drained out of this gymnasium as Mercyhurst lets time run away. 2:15 on the clock now, and they turn it over.
Only an 8-point difference, 2:12 left. The game's definitely not out of reach here. So it feels like the pressure's been taken out of the arena, but you can tell on the court the intensity just as high.
I feel as if one bucket will get this crowd back into the game. We've hit the 2-minute warning in the second half. Grumley to Atkins. Reverse, no good. Second chance, also no good. And they come up empty yet again. It's time for late game fouling for Clarion. They have not fouled yet. Looking for a turnover. Almost got one. And Mraz gets one now. And now they have a fast break. Giving to Atkins. Atkins turns it over. Israel Atkins with the 3 last possessions, and he has come up empty on each of them. They got out of it. Collier to Smith, and it's out of bounds. A turnover by Mercyhurst. 3 straight turnovers, 2 by Mercyhurst, and Clarion not going away. Still an 8-point ball game. 1:23 left on the clock. And McGann taking his time. They need a bucket.
Play of basketball out here all year.
So now Clarion needs a turnover, another turnover to stay in this one, and they're going to get a foul instead and send Ellis to the line. This could be at least a 2-point ball game if they just get one bucket on each of those turnovers, but
They turned the ball over on 3 of the 4 possessions on the other end of the court. You have to capitalize on stuff like that.
Ellis misses, so Clarion's still with a chance. Here's Williams. Gives to Mraz. They need a bucket quick. Under a minute. Mraz with a screen from Atkins. Drives, fouled, and will be headed to the line is Mraz. So 50.7 seconds on the clock. 8-point game. You would have to think Mraz has to make both of these for Clarion to stay in this one.
And then they have to foul immediately on the inbound.
First one is down. And Brandon Williams checks in for Israel Atkins. And Israel Atkins clutching his chest as if telling his teams, that's my fault, my bad, guys. But that will not bring points onto the scoreboard. Neither will that. And a foul immediately. Only one free throw made there by Mraz. And it will send Patrick Smith to the free throw line as we get to take a look at head coach Marcus Williams. Makes the first. Smith, just 5 points on the day. 5 of those 6 points coming from the free throw line. Here's Grumley. Needs a 3 or a quick 2. Going for the quick 2 and is going to be fouled heading to the line. So now we will start trading points off and on.
I think this is the most upsetting time in basketball.
After this game, Clarion will head to Pitt Johnstown for a matchup on the 3rd, and then February 10th, they will head to Slippery Rock as Grumley hits a free throw. And then they will head back to Clarion for their last 2 home games on the 14th and 17th against IUP and then Edinburgh, and then they will wrap up the season at Gannon, then at Cal U on the 24th to end the season. Clarion eliminated from playoff contention, has a player in the coffee corner, lets him get out of it again, and gets it to Walters, to where Walters will So Walters will shoot 2 in the double bonus now, and he makes the first. No rebounding effort by Mercyhurst. All 4 players are in the backcourt. And Walters misses the second, gives to Grumley. Grumley's got to score fast. Spin move, puts it up, and does not get it to go. And now another foul to Walters, and this one is just about over. So Clarion will continue the horrid losing streak. It will extend to 11 straight games. You can just see the emotion on all of the players' faces, all of the coaches' faces. This game was winnable for the Clarion Golden Eagles. It's just down the stretch, it didn't work.
Solid halves. On the first half, went into the halftime with down 4, came out with a hot start, but within the last 6 minutes of the game,
Brandon Williams puts in a layup on a 3rd chance, and now they will just not foul as Walters will dribble away the clock. So, as time runs away, final score here from Tippin Gymnasium, 72-65. Mercyhurst wins it, but they are